Just reading this story about this $1,000 iPhone app.
What the?
It's for studying for the bar exam. It's apparently the best company that has those, those books you can buy on helping to study for exams.
Yeah.
And this one is an app, and you can pay $1,000 for it. They say it's really good and worth it if that's what you're trying to do. The article is in the Washington Post about how apps are going to start broadening out into more expensive apps that do more, but are much more expensive than, your 99 cents or $1.99 or whatever. My wife got an app the other day for her iPhone called Baby Bump, and it's great. It's got so much good stuff on there for... It's got a lot of your information like that's in a regular baby book. It's got a special thing on there for timing contractions, and then it logs them automatically for you. So it'll tell you on this day your contractions were this, and it's just all kinds of different stuff. It's incredible.
That's nutty.
The age we live in, it's just amazing, isn't it? It's a good time to be alive.
$1,000 app, though. The old methods for studying for the bar are somehow insufficient or cumbersome, or what?
I don't know. I have no idea.
If people buy it, that's justification for selling it.
No kidding.
I suppose.
We welcome you to the Armstrong and Getty Show. For those of you who are to regular work day, you're probably listening. If it's not, you're sound asleep or fishing or skiing. Probably skiing. That's it.
Be fishing in the street soon. By the way, there is a report, surprised me a great deal, from Martin Luther King Jr. I'm sorry, that's wrong. My mistake. I misread the sentence. A high school in the Sacramento area that would make the heart of Martin Luther King Jr. very, very glad.
Cool.
What's happening at this school? It would absolutely make the NAACP and Al Sharpton mad. Those who profit from keeping us divided. So a really nice kind of going back to MLK's dream action by the kids of that school. So stay tuned.
I should stay tuned?
The long and short of it, Jack, is, if I may, they won't identify themselves by race. They're refusing to. Won't fill out a form, won't stand up and say, yeah, I'm part of this group. I'll go ahead and quote senior Jessica Mae Belcher, age 17, it's a pretty name, whose roots are African and Cherokee. She prefers none of the above. Because we're all different, but we're all the same. We're all Americans. Martin Luther King Jr. says Stephen Maganganini in the B, Sacramento B, he'd be pleased how students in Laguna Creek High School's Unity class embody his notion of a nation where they will not be judged by the color of the skin, but the content of their character. About half said they'd rather be identified as Americans.
Wow, that is
They
great.
won't check those boxes.
It is difficult to be judged by the content of your character and not the color of your skin if you're constantly checking boxes that tell everybody what the color of your skin is.
If you're, joining groups based on the color of your skin and being put in classes based on the color of your skin and having the politics of the day constantly oriented to the color of your skin or where your great granddaddy lived. Or maybe your grandpa or whatever. I'm not saying we're going to forget where we came from, but we can all see similarities from different hardships. By eliminating racial categories and racial consciousness, we can make racial hatred go away. See, that's the subtlety of the thing.
What was it I found out when I applied for that house loan that I was... the banker told me I should check... If you check, there's some disadvantages to checking none of the above, I think, because I was going to go with none of the above.
Right, you got to go with minority because they can't check.
Right.
Although, listening to Martin Luther King's speech, we played in its entirety during the 7 o'clock hour. I hope you enjoyed it if you heard it. His doctrine, which make no mistake, included what white racists were doing wrong and the great injustice of it. I'm not glossing over that because there was some strong stuff in there. But his doctrine of dignity and self-respect, one thing that's kind of been shoved aside, and the idea that we need to come together and erase the lines of race has been kind of swept aside by the race baiters, the division mongers, the sellers of racial separateness. That stuff is just been conveniently tossed aside. Everybody focuses on the very nice I have a dream stuff, but even that includes elements of what I'm talking about. About 10% of the students, it says, in the district now list race as multiple no response. There's been a dramatic rise statewide. Data show the number of K through 12 students listing their race as multiple or no response has jumped 70% from 2006 to the current year.
Oh, yeah, sure. We talked about this during the Barack Obama running for president. Tom Brokaw was the first one to point it out. For people over the age of 40, roughly, the whole should we have a black president thing was a question, debate, whatever. For people under the age of 40, roughly, younger people, it's not. You don't even understand the question. The question itself doesn't even make sense. Why are you even asking me this?
The answer is, why the hell would that matter?
Yeah.
But the U.S. Department of Education, which shouldn't exist, all right, I departed from the text briefly there. The U.S. Department of Education, which is trying to close the achievement gap between races, is asking school officials. Oh, hello, Dr. Freud. Glad you can make it in on a holiday. Sit down. I'm going to have to ask you to put out that cigar. Dr. Freud in the house. They're asking school officials to eyeball students who decline to state and check the box for them.
You've got to be kidding me.
Take a look and check the box for them. Erase their non-check and check it for them.
You've got to be kidding me.
I am not kidding you.
No. They can't,
I would not kid you.
They are not doing that. That can't be legal. Is there a box where you're allowed to put that? Decline to state? Or,
yes.
Well, then you got to let them do it.
No, you can't do that.
So you
can't just let them be a student.
So you're going to look at somebody.
It's forced segregation.
Who's kind of tannish, brownish, and you're going to decide, I think
he looks Mexican.
I'll bet his grandma was black or his mom's half Hispanic. I don't know, but it's something.
And they're
going to check a box on that?
Hispanic.
You've got to be kidding me.
We know and the feds know you can't force someone to fill out a form, said Carrick Ashley, State Education Department's Director of Data Management. So what the feds have actually said is to more strongly encourage them to self-identify. If all those efforts fail and the parents refuse, the feds say school officials should observe and report a race. I rest
you should be
my
shot.
Case.
You should be shot for treason.
There is enormous profit and enormous political power in dividing us. Always divide us. Always group us. Always label us like we're freaking heading into the concentration camps.
Who was that?
These people profit by that.
What was that person's position that said that they need to?
Well, that she is the gigantic, needlessly bloated State Department of Education, saying, whoops, wrong page. Where'd it go? What have I done? Oh, sorry. She is reporting what the feds are telling the state.
Wow.
We know and the feds know you can't force someone to fill out a form. So what the feds have actually said is to more strongly encourage the kids to self-identify. Please check what race you are. Please don't say decline to state, or please don't identify yourself as an American. And it gets in our way.
Come on, strongly encourage with kids is bullying. I don't care how you present it, but you're bullying kids because they're not necessarily in a position to make these independent decisions. So if you're strongly encouraging them, you're just bullying them into filling out the form.
And if all those efforts fail and the parents refuse and the kids refuse, the feds say school officials should observe and go ahead and report a race.
You've got to be freaking kidding me.
Are you kidding me?
Anybody know anything about this or have a comment on it? 1-866-331-TALK.
We have got to diminish the creeping, grasping power of the federal government over every facet of our lives. We're a giant country of 300 million people. We don't need the federal government in our local third grade class. Get them out!
So, but even if you want to opt out of the race game, the federal government's going to say, no, we're going to assign a race too. You're going to look you over. I don't know, you probably look like you might have some black, what are you, an octoroon?
The one impermissible choice is, look, I'm an American. The rest of it doesn't mean anything to me.
Unbelievable.
That is the one impermissible choice in the modern system.
Good story.
The country is going straight into the dumper.
Good story on MLK Day. Our phone number, 1-866-331-TALK. You're listening to the Armstrong and Getty Show.